So we're gonna go ahead or gonna start with "Let Love Have the Last Word" by Common. Common being a musician, I guess, or a musician as far as I have just seen it. I think never heard his music before, but he is a musician. That is a point, something to point out. And yeah, the subtitle is "Let Love Have the Last Word" by Common. Oh, there is no subtitle. Anyway, the synopsis. Common, the Grammy Award, Academy Award, and Golden Globe winning musician, actor, and activist, follows up his New York Times best-selling memoir, One Day It Will All Make Sense, with this inspiring exploration of how love and mindfulness can build communities and allow you to take better control of your life through actions and words. Well, I actually don't know if I want to go through this. I actually thought about something different. Where should we begin? Maybe this is better. I don't know, where the arc of love. So I definitely want to go through something love related. It is slightly worse. Very short. Don't want to have something that short. Mating in whatever. Reconciling the erotic and the domestic, written and read by Esther Perel. 5 out of 5. We're gonna go through this. Even though it also seems to be something that, well, anyway. Book notes: Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel. Yeah. Written and read by Esther Perel. Reconciling the erotic and the domestic. Synopsis. Esther Perel takes on tough questions, grappling with the obstacles and anxieties that arise when our quest for secure love conflicts with our pursuit of passion. She invites us to explore the paradoxical union of domesticity and sexual desire and explains what it takes to bring lust home. In this explosively original book, Perel explains that our cultural penchant for equality, togetherness, and absolute candor is antithetical to erotic desire for both man and woman. Sexual excitement doesn't always play by the rules of good citizenship. It is politically incorrect. It thrives on power plays, unfair advantages, and the spaces between self and other. More exciting, playful, even poetic sex is possible, but first we must kick egalitarian ideals and emotional housekeeping out of our bedrooms. Perel's take on bedroom dynamics promise to liberate, enchant, and provoke. Flinging the doors open on erotic life and domesticity, she invites us to put the eggs back in sex. Audible. I don't get the display there, the eggs. Well, I don't know. Opening thoughts. I put this book on my Audible wishlist when I was reading The Truth, and the author referenced this book when he was trying to work through his ideal relationship style. His whole journey was trying to figure out why, and this, by the way, is by Neil Strauss. Yes. His whole journey was trying to figure out why he couldn't stay in a long-term relationship with someone he clearly loved and wanted to develop intimacy with. I think books that discuss the topic of love and relationships usually are very interesting to me. This book had good reviews and it seemed like a good balance to the other books I chose this month. I'm also incredibly interested in this subject. Period. Keynotes. Problem. Couples are having less frequent sex even despite professing to love each other. They are either too busy, too stressed, too involved in child rearing, or simply too tired. However, the author thinks there is more to the story. We all share a mutual need for security which propels us to committed relationships. But we have an equally strong need for adventure and excitement. It is hard to generate excitement, anticipation, and lust with the same person you look to for comfort and stability, but it is not impossible. Eroticism requires separateness. In other words, eroticism thrives in the space between the self and the other. Desire is often accompanied by feelings that don't resonate with love, such as aggression, jealousy, and discord. Domesticated sex makes it fair, equal, and safe, but also produces many bored couples. Traditional gender norms of women being creatures of love and men being non-monogamous creatures of sex have been changed, and now both types of traits appear in both genders. Which is a fucking cool thing, I enjoy that. Even though the traditional therapy approach is to improve the relationship in order to improve the sex, she finds this is not true. Sexuality and emotional intimacy are two separate languages. The very dynamics that are a source of conflict in a relationship, particularly those pertaining to power, control, dependency, and vulnerability often become desirable even or when experienced through the body and eroticized. These people don't just miss sex, the act, they miss the feeling of connection, playfulness, and renewal that sex allows them. Excitement is interwoven with uncertainty and with our willingness to embrace the unknown rather than to shield ourselves from it. But this leaves us vulnerable to which he replies there is no such thing as safe sex, though there are people who do not seek passion but rather prefer calmer waters and a love that is built on patience. From adventure to capacity or captivity, why the quest for security saps erotic vitality. Conversations about this topic tend to polarize instantly of romantics versus realists. Both sides to agree that desire fades. What they disagree on is just how important the loss is. Romantics desire intensity over stability, realists value security over passion. Which I think, it's totally understandable, like romantics and realists. It's like, I don't know, like I understand people being in need of security and also passion, and I also understand those people that want to have intensity and also realists being more secure than passionate, whereas the romantics are more intense than stable, which I totally understand. Like it is something that I don't know, like I get it. It makes sense, Some people just want to be more secure with quite their whole life, whether it is about investing, whether it is about the job that you get and want to have, whether it is about something completely different, like love. I totally get that. Some people just, some people just wanna have it different, and some other people, on the other hand, want to have it again different. But both are often disappointed, for a few people can live at either extreme. The real question: can we have both love and desire in the same relationship over time? And how? What exactly would that kind of relationship be? She believes that love and desire are not mutually exclusive. They just don't take place at the same time. In fact, security and passion are two separate fundamental human needs that spring from different motives and pull us in different directions. We seek a steady, reliable anchor in our partner, yet at the same time, we expect love to offer a transcendent experience that will allow us to soar beyond our ordinary lives. The challenge for modern couples lies in reconciling the need for what is safe and predictable with the wish to pursue what is exciting, mysterious, and awe-inspiring. In truth, we never know our partners as much as we think we do, which is always the case, and nobody knows you as much as, first of all, you do, and nobody knows you fully. No matter if it is your mother, no matter if it is your father, no matter if it is your just best friend or girlfriend, they don't know you fully. Not 100%. Maybe it is 99.9%, but it's never ever going to be 100%. It's just not going to be the case. We all have some things that we are not talking about. We all have some things that we maybe even don't talk about just because it is so insignificant. But still, they don't know it. We just, other people would have to be in our body to actually know everything, but they are not. So it's something that's kind of, maybe just in the future it's going to be possible in some way, but I don't know. Let's see. The challenge for modern couples lies in reconciling the need for what is safe and predictable with the wish to pursue what is exciting, mysterious, and awe-inspiring. In truth, we never know our partner as much as we think we do. Even in the dullest marriages, predictability is a mirage or marriage. We are invested in our partner, conforming to an image that is often a creation of our own imagination based on our own sets of needs. Eroticism lies in the ambitious space between anxiety and fascination. We remain interested in our partners, they delight us, and we are drawn to them. She usually asks couples what they drew them together initially, because this is the key to understanding the unfolding story of their relationship. We magnify the good qualities of those we love and convert them almost mystical powers. Yeah, which also backfires to some degree. If you just don't see the bad things, if you just don't see the downsides of this person's personality, and not a good thing. Definitely not a good thing. We transform them, and in turn, we are transformed in their presence. Yes. Totally the case. I'm not going to talk to my girlfriend as I'm talking to my friends. I'm going to act differently. I'm going to be a different shade of me. I'm not going to be a different person because it is still me and it's still how I can be, but it is just a different form, a different quote unquote version of myself, just because it's not my friend, it's not my mom, it's not my grandma, it is my girlfriend. Being chosen by the one you choose is one of the glories of falling in love. It generates a feeling of intense personal importance. If love is an act, it is a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing, and I am actually very grateful that I've been able to experience that, falling in love and all of that shit. Even though it's been an interesting story, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Like, the thing is, in recent times, I've been going through such a lot of interesting things and such a lot of pain in the end as well, that I feel like that, and I don't know, like me, I do want to share this in some way. I do want to share this in some way that other people are not making the decision that I made and doing the things that I made. Just because I want to prevent people from also feeling the pain and also feeling what I felt. I don't want to have that for you. If love is an act of imagination, intimacy is an act of fruition. It waits for the high to subside so it can patiently insert itself into the relationship. The seeds of intimacy are time and repetition. We choose each other again and again and so create a community of two. Perhaps the way we construct closeness reduces the sense of freedom and autonomy needed for sexual pleasure. When intimacy collapses into fusion, it is not a lack of closeness, but too much closeness that impedes desire. Separateness is a precondition for connection. This is the essential paradox for intimacy and sex. We tend to choose partners whose proclivities match our vulnerabilities. I don't know what a proclivity is. Linking, inclination, tendency, leaning match our vulnerabilities. Comes with a growing concern for the well-being of the other person, which includes a fear of hurting them. I always fear hurting everybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. Any fucking body. Sexual excitement requires the capacity to not worry, and the pursuit of pleasure demands a degree of selfishness. Some people cannot allow this selfishness because they are too absorbed with the well-being of the beloved. In order to bring lust home, we need to recreate the distance that we worked so hard to bridge. Erotic intelligence is about creating distance, then bringing that space to life. There's a need to develop intimacy with one's own self as a counterbalance to a couple. Personal intimacy demarcates a private zone, one that requires tolerance and respect. It is a space, physical, emotional, and intellectual, that belongs only to me. Not everything needs to be revealed. Everyone should cultivate a secret garden. Desire is energized by the distance between two people. If intimacy grows through repetition and familiarity, eroticism is numbed by repetition. Eroticism is numbed by repetition. Yes, it is totally the case. If we're just doing the exact same thing over and over again, it is gonna be boring. It thrives on the novel, the mysterious, and the unexpected. Love is about having desire, it is about wanting. Desire requires ongoing elusiveness. Marriage before used to be a matter of primarily economic sustenance, and it was a partnership for life. What before used to be a matter of primarily economic sustenance, before used to be, definitely the case, and it was a partnership for life. Love could develop over time, but it was optional. Well, the thing is, I don't know. Like, I believe that after some time, this person is going to be important to you. I don't know. I do have a very, I thought about that quite often in the past, and I do have a feeling that I do think that you really get to like this person, how this person is, with their looks. Even though initially you thought, well, this person looks fucking ugly. I don't know. I believe that I don't know, maybe this is something we talk ourselves into or some shit. Could also be the case, like, I don't know. Intimacy has shifted from being a byproduct of a long-term relationship to being a mandate for one. in companion, marriage, trust, and affection have replaced respect as the relational pillar. Reader's note, I've always heard of this before, marriage being more about economics, but it is very interesting thinking of marriage as a partnership instead of a romantic relationship. Similar to a business partnership where you have specific roles and duties, the cornerstone of the relationship should be respect, not love or intimacy. So thought-provoking. And I would say this as well. I would say respect is a very big thing. It's a very big thing. Trust. I mean, respect, respecting each other, and it is such a big thing, just because respecting means, okay, if you want to do something with your buddies, it is fine if you do so. And if she want to do something with her girls, going a night out, it is fine because I respect this person. And respect, on the other hand, is a dangerous word, though. It's it involves also or it just also means it also means, or it could mean just various different things. What about just being honest to each other? Does this also have something to do with respect? Maybe, yeah. Just because you respect this person, you're also going to be honest. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the case. It is an interesting word. Sometimes too much communication, openness, and vulnerability can strain the relationship. She believes it's not necessary to talk about and say everything to the other person. The mandate of intimacy when talking too far can resemble coercion. And I don't know what this means. Force, compulsion, constraint, duress, oppression, enforcement, harassment. Yeah. Couples should not demand entry into the private thoughts of their loved ones. Yeah. At the point, intimacy becomes intrusion rather than closeness. Of course, the loss of control in real life. What? Of course, the loss of control in real life is scary, but the point of fantasy is that it allows you to transcend the moral and psychological constraints of everyday life. If commitment requires a trade-off of freedom for security, then eroticism is the gateway back to freedom. Being able to play with roles goes some way towards indicating that you are no longer controlled by them. Play has the potential to disrupt the very notion of gender categorization. Love is almost always accompanied by hate. Those we hate the most can also flip our switch really quickly. It's also almost always accompanied by hate. Is it? I don't know. This is a strange question and a strange thing to think about, that you hate the person you love. I don't know. The capacity to constrain the aggression is a precondition for the capacity to love. The capacity to contain aggression is a precondition for the capacity to love. We must integrate our aggression rather than eradicate it. What does eradicate? Is it like erase or just get rid of it? I don't know. Aggression is a human emotion. As a human emotion cannot be purged from human interactions, especially not among those who love each other. Aggression is the shadow side of love. It is also an intrinsic component of sexuality, and it can never be entirely excised from sexual relationships. Well, interesting thing because, and I afterwards I'm gonna end the episode there. I did have some problems with aggression in my last relationship, and also leading to kind of also being one reason to break up with me, which is totally understandable. For me, I mean, if someone is so aggressive and I don't know physically, but I would say so as well, and also verbally, especially verbally aggressive. Fuck. I just remember things that I don't want to be remembered of, actually. Well, yeah, I don't know. Aggression is a bad thing. It's not a good thing, but I don't know what I don't exactly know. But well, this point is also very important indeed. Reader's note. Right now we are on a section about a couple she had helped where they were, well, yeah, it's important, where they were both feeling trapped in a relationship and their passion decreased. They both finally admitted they needed more psychological freedom, and that made them closer and more attracted to one another because they reasserted their separateness. Maybe this is what people mean when they say someone is scared of commitment. Maybe when they are really scared of is the idea of losing their freedom and therefore their passion and desire. But I wouldn't necessarily say only for losing their passion and desire, but just freedom per se, like not being able to do whatever you want to do. But I believe deeply that that if you're in a relationship where you're not able to do what you want to do outside of the relationship, of course, there's going to be commitment. Of course, there's going to be responsibilities. Of course, there's going to be just certain things that are something similar. I don't know, like there is going to be some things, but of course, you shouldn't be restricted by a relationship. At least not in a bad way. I don't know. I mean, as I said, if you want to go out with your girls and stuff, then yeah, do that. I don't know. Like, I don't believe that this is something we should be concerned about in a relationship. Never ever. And this just says something about the relationship, I guess. But yeah. With that being said, I wish the best health, happiness, and all success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself when you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, and then being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. 3 other questions that I have you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose, and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. One other question I have for you is: what could you essentially say to another person that is really indeed going to change their life? Because I believe we all can say something, and therefore also make change and create change, which is amazing. And yeah, with that being said, hopefully see you the next time. Bye bye. Have a good one.